painting, only one painting. So they could put it in the local museum, and this way they could like make Figueras famous and honor also the life and the birth of Dali over there in his hometown. Well, Dali, he was very like over the top all the time, very dramatic, right? He decided to build a whole museum to honor himself. Okay, he decided to say, he said to the mayor, Ramon Guardiola, he said, look, instead of one painting, why we don't like build a whole museum to honor my art and my career? And this way Figueras can be like very famous and popular to the world. And of course the mayor said, okay, if you do it, that's up to you. That's fine for me, right? So that's how they built in the local old theater the museum, like piece by piece and area over area, okay? Because the museum, the old theater, it was actually it wasn't used anymore, and there was only some remains. So they decided to build it, right? He built it and he designed every part of the museum. He decided to do it in the local theater because first, it was where he first had his first collection of paintings when he was very young. Second, because right outside of the local theater, there's a church and he was baptized over there. And third, because he thought that the best place to have his gallery, it will be in the theater, right? He loved performing arts. So it was the best place for him to design and build the museum. Actually, the museum, it is a masterpiece itself. It's like a artwork itself, right? It's a whole museum. There's tips about also the museum inside. The museum has 3 levels, 3 floors, okay? But as it is a work of art itself, it is like a lot going on everywhere, okay? So my recommendation, so you can see everything and you have time, is to walk all the corridors from the first floor and then you go into the second and then to the third. And you can stop in the paintings or pieces of art that you want to see on your own, that you want to like stop for a couple of minutes and admire, yeah? Because for example, through the corridors there are a lot of like drawings or drafts, and sometimes you don't need, it's not like worth it to spend that amount of time checking all the drawings or drafts. Or for example, in the third floor, we have a collection of illustrations made from Dali, based on one of the important tales in history, that is Alice in Wonderland. Okay, so he decided to do his own version illustrated of Alice in Wonderland. So maybe that's in the third floor, and you don't need a lot of time, right, to check all the illustrations. You just can walk around and see everything. Okay, but for example, there, especially on the second floor and on the main hall of the theater, there are very important paintings. So it's worth it to take more time to see those paintings instead of the drawings, right? Then there are some rooms that you have, like, I would say like a whole, like a lot of objects put into a very specific form so you can see something, yeah? Like an hologram, right? So you don't need also a lot of time to see that. Don't worry. It's just a recommendation. It's for you to have more time, because inside there are more like 1,000 pieces of arts, like paintings, holograms, drafts, drawings, okay? Statues. So it's just a recommendation in case you want to see it all and you want to take some time in the paintings that maybe you can enjoy the most. Also, at the same time inside, you're not going to find any audio guides. Yeah, I don't know if some of you were expecting audio guides. No? Well, this is express a desire of Dali. He didn't want you to listen. He wanted you to admire and have your own opinion and perspective about it, about his art. So that's why inside you won't have any audio guides. But I recommend you to buy the bread of Girona. Okay, so imagine the shape of the local bread put into a statue, two small statues all over the facade of the tower. And then on the top we have huge statues of eggs. Okay, the eggs, they are very important in Dali's art. It wasn't not only one of his favorite foods, eggs in any like shape and form. And there's another thing that it's a cupola. There's a dome that it's on the rooftop of the building, that it's a glass and iron cupola that it's on the top. It's amazing, it's giant. And it was the most difficult part to build inside of the museum. There was no architect that could like finish the cupola without like being destroyed. It was very hard. At the end they managed to finish it, and right under the cupola and right under the stage of the museum it is buried Dalí. Okay, esta es la Torre Gala. Sí, la Torre Gala. ¿De acuerdo? Gala Tower. Right?
And that is turtle or what? Or flower?
This kind of like flower, this like statue that you have, it's the local shape of the bread of Figueras. Okay? They are like breads.
Just like breads?
Yes, it's a local bread. The artisan bread.
Okay.
They met in a party and she was with another guy. Yeah, but she didn't say a word. She left the guy and went with Gaudí.
She never told the one?
She never told the one.
She just left.
She just left with Dalí.
What a woman.
Like, see ya. Bye.
Hasta
And
luego.
that's it, right?
这个也太有特色了。震撼一下。
洗在人家的脚，有这种小网织。
它真的有很多不同的创作，而且它每一块地方做的真的有些不太，都有一些比较不同时期的想法。这块就全部都是跟这个石头啊，跟这些组合有关系的。石头就是石头，石头石头石头。
这是我们那个是穿，这个是不是穿那个什么？
当然是对维纳斯有很多各种不同的解构方法。
Exactly, one new kind of atomic and nuclear mysticism.
Thank you very much. That's fascinating. Great.
La era atómica será como los sueños de Dalí. Pinto y constante explosión. En la explosión nuclear es posible abordar desde el punto de vista científico el verdadero misterio de la vida. Hoy en día, el mundo está lleno de confusión debido al exceso de materialismo y la investigación nuclear. La única respuesta es encontrar serenidad a través de los buenos sueños. Es el modo de escapar del drama de los tiempos modernos. Mi pintura es una misión cuyo propósito es ofrecer algunas respuestas a través de los buenos sueños. Aspiro a que la Madonna, cuyo modelo ha sido mi mujer, sea una condensación de todo lo que hay de virtud maravillosa, de fuerza espiritual, de color y de geología. Desde los días de Málaga me había hecho discípulo de Gala. Ella era el ángel del equilibrio, el precursor del clasicismo. Pues ella y solo ella era la realidad. Y todo lo que mis ojos eran capaces de ver era ella. Y era el retrato de ella lo que sería mi obra, mi idea, mi realidad. Cada uno de los objetos que conforman mi universo pictórico ha alcanzado su máximo significado. ¿Veis los arcos flotantes? El renacimiento. ¿Veis la concha que simboliza el bautismo? Piero de la Francesca. Y el huevo suspendido de la concha lo utilizó Rafael como símbolo de pureza. Es un tema sagrado que he tratado con mi habitual brillantez y destreza. Y para ello estoy en deuda con los artistas académicos del Renacimiento. Ahora iré a Portligat a pintarla otra vez, y lo haré en un lienzo mucho mayor, que me dé más campo. No puedo pintarla en ninguna otra parte. Necesito el localismo de Portligat como Rafael necesitaba el diluvio, para llegar a lo universal por el camino de la particular. El viejo Dalí ha desaparecido. Aquel fue un periodo de pesadillas, confusión y sufrimiento, sin elevación. Ahora en el nuevo Dalí predominan los azules y amarillos, colores serenos. Esto se debe a que ahora Dalí avanza hacia el misticismo, siguiendo un camino más místico.
他很爱操作各种光影，像刚刚这个就是只有一个照片，事实上他用镜子做出来一个整张的脸。哇，各种美丽的珠宝。与其是珠宝展，我觉得是另外一种作画吧。哇，这颗翡翠有够大颗的，这颗宝石有够大颗的。图头，但是里面是人头。
The space elephant.
谢谢，喜欢的话欢迎点赞、订阅、转发。